You're listening to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the #1 sports talk show on the planet, The Doug Stewart Show.
This is a revolution in radio, the realest, trillest sports talk show in America, The Doug Stewart Show.
Broadcasting live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time, exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
This is sports talk for the people.
Follow Stewart Media and Entertainment right now on Facebook to stay connected and locked in for upcoming events like the Couples and Cocktail Series, viewing parties, and much, much more. Up next, get ready to ride raw with the Doug Stewart Show.
This is sports talk with hot sauce, Texas Pete hot sauce, the Doug Stewart Show.
Exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STEW to play for free. That's STEW for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STEW, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STEW.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised.
Do you want that real sports talk? Unfiltered, unsanitized? Well, you have found it. This is a revolution in radio. The realest, trillest sports talk show in America. The Doug Stewart Show. This is sports talk for the people. Yeah! What's happening? Welcome to the Doug Stewart Show. Yeah. June 11th, 2015, Throwback Thursday, one of my favorite days of the week, and a great day to bring it back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you for joining your boy on the Doug Stewart Show. June 11th, 2015. It is a Throwback Thursday. And, whoa boy, a lot of great stuff we're going to get into today. You can hit me up at 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. I'm ready. Studio audience is ready, obviously. I mean, they on point early this morning. How you doing? Hope you're doing good, feeling great. This is a Throwback Thursday. A lot of great stuff to get into today on the Doug Stewart Show. I just said it. You can give me a call at 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. If you're new to the show, and I know I sound like a broken record to a lot of the older Stewies. Speaking of which, shouts out to the Stewies. I'm already in the chat room. But I got to repeat this all the time because in relative terms, we're kind of new. We're new, but we're not new. Actually, I'm kind of old. but not old. Been doing this for over 12, 13 years and just doing this show for the last 7, 8 months. So it's new, but it's not old, and I'm not old, if you understand all of that. But if you're a new listener to the Doug Stewart Show, man, thank you. We appreciate it. Check the show out. 2 hours, a lot of fun. More fun on radio or the internet than probably anywhere else in the world. From 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Monday through Friday. So thank you for joining me, and we have a lot of fun. You best believe that. We do birthdays. Obviously, we talk about sports. I mean, that's first and foremost. We talk about sports. We talk about whatever dudes are talking about. I do some little birthday shout-outs at some point throughout the show. We do top fives. We got a great top five today. We got a fantastic top five for today. So the number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. The easy way to be totally interactive, I mentioned the Stewies. That's everybody in the chat room. That's all my Stewies in the chat room who are being interactive and giving me their thoughts on whatever the hell we're talking about. So, I mean, in effect, you're kind of like my co-host because I take from some of the conversation that's going on in the chat room, me and the producer, Tree. That's my producer's name, the Tree of Life. And we comment on it. So great commentary comes from that. So that's how we do it. We have a lot of fun here on the Doug Stewart Show. And the big difference between this show and any other show you hear, and you are listening to the Doug Stewart Show, is we keeps it real, bitches. Speaking of calling somebody bitches, so before I got on the show, I was looking at my little Facebook on my phone or whatever, and so I'm sure you probably seen this story. But a lady in Oakland, when LeBron James was leaving the floor after the Cleveland Cavaliers had beat the Golden State Warriors in Game 2 of that series, screams out at LeBron James as he's walking off, and it's all caught on videotape, and it's all over most people's timelines and on social media. That's where I saw it. She screams out at dude, LeBron, you're a punk ass bitch. Or he doesn't call him a punk. The first word she actually used was street vernacular for a woman's reproductive organ that sometimes you get pleasure by. So she called him a woman's vagina, street vernacular, ass bitch, walking off the floor. Now, first of all, let me say this. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. If you listen to this show, man, I think you're great people. But I know how fandom is. And there's different levels of fandom. And people, they support and they love their teams. And they're very passionate, okay? But if you ever find yourself or even consider doing something like this, just go ahead and kill yourself. I mean, seriously. If you ever get to this level of being mad at a professional athlete or someone you really don't know, it doesn't even have to be a professional athlete. And this is just a PSA, a public service announcement from Doug Stewart. If you ever find yourself that passionate about something or about somebody you don't even know, or some, entity that you really have no, personal relationship with, that's a bad look. That's a horrible look. And like I said, like the great Henry Welsh said many, many years ago, and I think it's his catchphrase, just go ahead and kill yourself. I mean, seriously. Seriously. And the bad thing about this thing is this is 2015, and this was caught on videotape. See, this probably wouldn't have happened 20 years ago before everybody had a camera phone or a video camera on their phones or whatever so they could catch this type of thing. But the bad thing, which actually is a good thing, and what's going to result from this, for this particular lady that screamed this out, her friends and family are actually going to see the type of person that she is. Yeah. Now, it's one thing to boo a guy, obviously you're a fan and you boo against a guy that just beat your team, at your own home court or whatever. But it's another level for you as a person that doesn't even know this guy from Adam's house cat, like they used to say back in the country, to scream this particular phrase out to a dude, a grown-ass man. Now, she's a chick, first of all. she's a lady, so she can't beat nobody. She can't beat anybody, much less LeBron James, all 6'8", 270 pounds. So why would you do it? Because it's kind of akin to keyboard courage. And I just absolutely hate this type of thing. And I've told the story many, many times before on how, since we've been doing radio and TV and people disagree with our opinion about something, and this email, this new phenomenon that we call email, people email us and say all types of mean and nasty things that they would never say, if they were in front of us. But this particular lady, I guess in this case, felt like she's in this public place and security's there, so LeBron James not going to come up in the stands after her, but it kind of backfired on her. It was caught on video. And you know what I like to do? If someone really at an extreme, just comes at me on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, I'll try to collect as much of that data that I can. The screenshot is hellacious. I mean, the screenshot is the greatest thing since sliced bread. So I'll take screenshots, and if they use the N-word or whatever, which happens all the time, I'll take those screenshots of what they said, and I'll post it on their page, or I'll go and find their friend's page. Now, this is a rare occasion, but I have done this. This is a very rare occasion. I'll go to their page, and I'll see some of their friends, and I'll go to their friend's page, and I'll just type a little line, this is what your friend thinks of black people. Or this is what your friend says when he's not around you. Or this is what your friend says when he thinks that no one's paying attention, and put him on blast. And this lady is, you talk about being put on blast. I mean, this is the ultimate being put on blast. Like, can you imagine this lady walking into her job the next day after this thing went viral? Or can you imagine her going to the family dinner with her mom and them or her friends? And I don't know, maybe her friends are just like her and they use boorish behavior like this. I don't know, but I doubt it. Like, what woman even talks like that? Huh? I mean, okay, yeah. There's a couple of like real hood chicks that might talk like that. But for the most part, grown-ass women don't talk like that. And in public? It's unbelievable, man. But once again, like the great Fess Manigault used to say, we are living in a time, Fessa. We are living in a time. Yeah. I don't know. So what are your thoughts on that, man? If you're one of these people that have gone to sporting events and gone crazy at somebody, man, what are your thoughts? And I know technically, athletes really don't care. But I just think this was kind of like, outside of the norm. And then it was caught on videotape, so it's kind of highlighted a little bit. What are your thoughts about that, man? I mean, damn. Yeah. P word, ass bitch. Yeah, really? Really? Not only will LeBron come out there and whoop your ass, but he whoop your husband's ass, your sons, your nephews probably, all in one fell swoop. Keyboard courage. Screaming out things from afar. Are you kidding me? This is the Doug Stewart Show. All right, I just had to vent that a little bit. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Obviously, we're going to talk about NBA Finals Game 4 tonight. I cannot wait. This has been a very exciting series. What say you? So we'll talk about that when we get back a little bit more in depth. Also, today is Peter Dinklage's birthday. You know who Peter Dinklage is? He's a little dwarf guy on Game of Thrones, man. So, it got me thinking. What I do around here is I think. I'm like George Wallace. I be thinking. The top 5 little dudes of all time, shorty. Yes, sir. See, I don't think the term midget is politically correct in 2015. So, the best way I can describe these little gentlemen is little dudes. The top 5 little dudes / women, if there are any, of all time. I'll tell you who my list is. What are your thoughts on that? Yeah, this is what we do on the Doug Stewart Show. Have a lot of fun, talk sports, talk about guy talk. Don't go away. Keep it locked. The Doug Stewart Show. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, We're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes!
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt, specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Throwback Thursday. You know we actually came up with that title, right? Like there was no Throwback Thursday before the Stews. Anyway, this is the Doug Stewart Show. Top 5 little dudes / women of all times, honoring the great Peter Dinklage on Game of Thrones, which I still haven't seen this week's episode, so don't spoil it for me. I keep saying that I'm going to do it, and every night is something I got going on. Got this honey-do list or whatever from hell. And so I still haven't gotten to last week's Game of Thrones. I think I did mention it, but the week before episode of Game of Thrones, just epic. I mean, just epic. The White Walkers oh my gosh, the freaking White Walkers, they just went crazy. I know a lot of people listen to the show. That watch Game of Thrones, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They went freaking ham. The White Walkers went ham. Now, they only really show themselves. Okay, and this is not an exaggeration. Is this season 5? I think this is season 5, maybe even season 4. But I'm thinking it's season 5 of Game of Thrones. And the White Walkers only show up like probably once every, 15, 20 shows. Like, they never show up, but they showed up in a big way this time. You got to be a Game of Thrones fan to know what the hell I'm talking about. 2 weeks ago, they just went ham, shouty. They went ham. All right, so today I'm doing top 5 little people of all time. Coming in at number 5 on my list is the great Herb Villachez. You know who that is? His mama call him Herb, but we call him Tattoo. Right, the great Tattoo from Fantasy Island. And really, kind of like the trend center for little people. He kind of opened up the doors for little people to get jobs in Hollywood. At least over the last 40 years, Tattoo from Fantasy Island. Boss, the plane. That's my Tattoo impersonation. I wish he would have sung. I would have sung his song that he sung. But anyway, little information about the great Tattoo, a.k.a. Herb Villachez. In 1993, he believed to have fired a shot through the sliding glass patio door in order to awaken his longtime girlfriend, Kathy Self. And I'm reading this straight from Wikipedia. Before shooting himself at his North Hollywood home, dude took himself out. He committed suicide. Self found Villachez in the backyard, and he was pronounced dead at North Hollywood. He left a suicide note, and his suicide note said, in effect, that he just didn't want to live anymore because of the pain that he suffered throughout his life. You know what the pain was? The story says that dude, obviously he was like, 2'8", 3 foot tall, but they said that he was born with grown people's organs. Like all of his organs were that of a normal-sized person, but they were just packed inside of his body. And I guess the story said that the pressure from the organs, bursting out of the seams of his body was just intense. He didn't even sleep like a regular person. He slept on his knees because that kind of relieved some of the pressure. And I know this is kind of morbid, but I just thought it was very interesting. Coming in on the list of top 5 little dudes of all time, a guy very familiar and I have very fond memories in my heart, the great Tattoo, a.k.a. Herb Villachez. Wow. That's horrible. You think you got it bad. That's something that and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, that's something my old man used to always say. After something bad, what I perceived was bad happened, or that I thought was tough or whatever, my old man was always saying, man, someone always got it worse than you, man. I mean, this is nothing. And can you imagine? Ooh. I mean, I couldn't even imagine, man. So RIP to the great Herb Villachez. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. You see the title to today's show is What You Gonna Do, Mr. MVP. And I'm talking about Steph Curry, Game 4 tonight. After a 96-91 win in Game 3 of the NBA Finals, the Cavs will try to go up 3-1 in their series against the Golden State Warriors tonight at Quicken Loan Arena. The Cavs have won 7 of 8 playoff series when leading 2-1 in team history. The Cavs led wire-to-wire in Game 3 in the victory, their first NBA Finals home win in franchise history. Damn, that's a crazy stat. Cleveland also improved to an NBA best 14-2 in the playoffs, including 7-1 at the Q. The team's best home record since January 19th at 27-2. 931, which includes a perfect 9-0 mark against the Western Conference. So they've been killing the Western Conference. I talked about that a couple of days ago. The fact that they have really, everybody always, believes, and it bears out in stats as well, that the Western Conference is so dominant. As a group of teams, the Western Conference is dominant in comparison to the Eastern Conference. But you would have never guessed that the Cleveland Cavaliers have really had their way with Western Conference teams. The Cavs defense held the Warriors to 91 points on a 36-90 shooting from the field. Slided in the field in Game 3, including 37 points on 15-44 shooting in the first half during the series. The Cavs has held the Warriors to a combined 41% shooting from the field, including 31% from behind the arc. Cleveland also tallied 9 steals and 8 blocks in the victory and is averaging 10 steals and 5.3 blocks per game during the 2015 NBA Finals. I said all of that stuff to say this. Cleveland's been playing fantastic defense, and that's what it's all about. And you knew, you kind of knew this kind of matched up, and the way they promoted this thing was the dominant offense. So you got dominant offense in the NBA versus a great defense. I don't think the word dominant really came up when you're talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers, but they have been playing dominant defense in this league, and you've seen it come to fruition in guys like Matthew Dellavedova, LeBron James, obviously. Guys been playing great defense for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and it's really thrown off Golden State. And that's not an understatement. For Golden State in Game 3, Steph Curry scored a team-high 27 points on 10 for 20 shooting. But remember, most of that was in the last 7 or 8 minutes of the game. For 3.5 periods, man, Steph Curry was like a fish out of water. And Matthew Dellavedova did a great job in covering him. So will that continue tonight? The Warriors set a franchise record with a 28-road victory mark during the regular season and are 5-3 away from Oracle Arena in the playoffs. So let's see if Golden State can steal a game tonight. I'll say this. Whoever wins this game tonight is probably going to have the momentum. And in relative terms, Golden State going back to Oakland to play Game 5. Whoever wins this game tonight, and I do believe that's what happens. I believe that Game 5 would be in Oakland, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry. But Game 5 will be in Oakland, and then I think they'll come back and play one game in Cleveland, so it's a lot of travel, and then they'll play Game 7 back in Golden State. If Golden State can win this game tonight, and once again, I'm still saying Golden State's going to win this series. In my opinion, I got to stick with my pick. Yeah, that's just the way it's done. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. If Golden State can win this game tonight, I think they're sitting kind of good. I think they're sitting kind of good with a 2-2 tie in the series, going back home Game 3. Can they steal a game back in Cleveland for Game 6 and then come back and wrap it up in Game 7? I predicted 7 games. And the only reason I picked the Golden State Warriors in 7 and not 4 or not 5 is because of LeBron James, and that has kind of panned out. What are your thoughts on Game 4 tonight in the NBA Finals? Give me a call at 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Also talking about the top 5 little dudes / women of all time. Herb Villachez didn't really get it off to a good start. I mean, real tragic story with that brother. Wow. I mean, damn. Man had organs like a grown-ass man. That wasn't good. That wasn't comfortable. So I'll tell you who number 4 on my list is when we get back from the break. Yes, Tree.
I'm sorry. I have a silver lining.
Oh, you have a silver lining to Herb Villachez.
I mean, I was just sitting here listening and thinking, if he did have parts like a grown man, that would be why he was actually, he had a companion with him, and so that's a good thing, Wait a minute. Let
me grab my pencil and my paper.
Do I need to make a picture?
Hold on. Do I, yeah, you are already nominated.
What?
I'm going to go ahead and put another star by your name, Tree.
For what? I am finding the silver lining.
You've got 2 stars by your name, which is unprecedented.
Oh.
But I'm going to go ahead and put another one. So this is star number 2 by Tree's name. For new listeners, I write down names, and I'm putting a star by Tree's name because she's already been nominated for a Boyle Penis Award. Okay? So she's been or done something 2 other times that would have gotten her nominated, so I just put stars now, okay? And so we're talking about a serious story here. The man died because his organs was pressing up against his body to the point where he couldn't even sleep. And then you come out today and talking about the man had grown man peni.
See, silver lining.
Well, I guess, but I don't think I just don't think it's appropriate. So I'm gonna go ahead and write this star by your name. Okay?
That's okay. I bet he was riding raw, though.
Okay, here you go.
On a regular.
Another treeism.
Thank God for man parts.
Another treeism. Tree! Oh! I hope your daughter not listening today. Mom always talk about riding raw, and now she talking about tattoos, man parts. We don't need to hear all of that. That's why you got another star. Matter of fact, I'm going to write another star. And Tree, you know what this week? Something that I realized you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show? The pickings are kind of slim this week for the Boyle Penis Award. Okay? I think that you might win it this week. Now, it's not on me, but I think you might win it. The only nominations we have right now are you who has 2 stars by their name. My brother Ryan for telling that whack-ass joke he did the other day when he came on the show. And then Baron Davis, which we haven't really talked about. You seen the pictures of Baron Davis?
Soul Glow.
Yeah, so he's nominated. He's a strong candidate too. But right now, you are definitely the leader in the clubhouse for a Boiled Penis Award.
For finding the good. Okay, that's nice.
And if you're new to the Doug Stewart Show, the Boiled Penis Award is basically an award for the Buster of the Week. It's a long story. The etymology behind it. Ask somebody in the chat room, they'll tell you. All right? I mean, we talking about something serious. We talking about the man having body parts like a defensive lineman, and you busting here talking about the silver lining. He got a grown man size penis, and I think that's singular for penis, or actually the same thing. You know what I mean. Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. In life, things happen, good and bad, and being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! I don't like Johnny Gill. He took my spot on New Edition. One of my favorite songs of all time from New Edition is Can You Stand the Rain? So to pay ode to that famous song, man, I'm going to give you my little rendition of Can You Stand the Rain? On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you. Ooh. When that's not possible, tell me, can you weather the storm? Then Ralph jumps in. 'Cause I need somebody who will stand. Shut up! Who will stand by me through the good times and bad times. She will always be right there. Hey, sunny days. Everybody has them. And tell me, baby, can you stand the rain? J-Rob, Tree, if you stop Doug singing, we will renege your BPA nomination. Huh? Buster, Doug, I see why you got kicked out of the Wait a minute. Back up, Jack. Shut up. Studio audience, y'all are out of control today. I mean, seriously, we're going to talk about this. We're going to have to take y'all into Larry's office after this show. That ninja, you just cracked my damn phone screen. What? Where's all of this coming from? Who's putting y'all up to say these things? Who's putting y'all... Okay, Tree, jump on for a second. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Did you prompt these people to say these nasty things to me on Spreaker.com?
You know what?
I mean, it's jealousy. Tree, we know that you sing. But you don't have to be the only person that can sing, okay? I can see it. What do the kids call it? Hating? Is that what's going on here, Tree? Are you hating on Doug Stewart? Dirty Della.
Oh, my God.
Dirty Della. Oh. Dirty Della. Oh. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's Doug at thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's Doug at thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! I think Tree is one of them naughty housewives. Why would you say that about the great Herb Villages? Regulators! Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Throwback Thursday. I just thought about that, Tree. And we're talking
about what?
We're talking about the top 5 little people of all time. I just thought about that. The story read that all of his internal organs were grown man size. I mean, his outside organs were that of a 2-year-old. I mean, so I know you're trying to give him credit and you're trying to spin this in a positive light with the great Herb Villages saying he had grown man sex organs or whatever, but I don't think that's actually the case. So I'm putting another star by your name just because I'm thinking about it, because you really just you just threw him under the bus, and the man's dead, for God's sake. Golly, Tree.
Where do they do this? What other shows do producers just get railroaded by?
What do you mean railroaded?
The host.
What does that term mean? What does that term
people,
mean?
all of that. Like, where do they do that?
I don't know, but I don't think that's the accurate description of this situation. I just think that it wasn't appropriate.
How was I didn't hear you say internal parts.
Oh, okay.
I was just really trying to focus, and that you did mention that he had a lady friend there. So
right.
I was like, oh, that explains it. Yes.
Right, but
you do wonder about these things. Well,
like my brother used to say, he's probably doing it with the Tizac as opposed to the Dizac. Oh, shouts out to the great Herb Villages. This is the Doug Stewart Show, 404-382-0338. So birthdays today, and there's not a lot. Obviously, I mentioned the great Peter Dinklage, who plays on the Game of Thrones. He's been in a couple of different little TV shows that you remember. He did that, or not TV show, movies. You remember he was in the movie that Chris Rock produced? What was it called? Chris Rock produced it. There was a bunch of black actors in it. And, Death at a Funeral. That's what it was. So Peter Dinklage played on that, and he's 46 years old today. Happy birthday to Peter Dinklage. He plays Tyrion Lannister on HBO's Game of Thrones. Very good actor. He's clearly the best actor. I'm looking at my list right now, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. He's clearly the best actor on my list as far as little dudes of all time. So happy birthday to him. He actually, in the episode where the White Walkers just went ham last week, this dude got captured by, what's the prince's name? What do they call her name? I'm so bad with names, and that's why I always tell you, when you watch Game of Thrones, it's a lot to consume and remember. And I've been watching the damn show for 5 years, the Dragon Lady. But he got caught by the Dragon Lady. And people that watch this will know what I'm talking about. He got caught by the Dragon Lady princess person. And in 20 minutes, he flipped it around from getting murdered to being one of her assistants. I mean, this dude is just a genius. Fantastic actor. So happy birthday to Peter Dinklage. Also, the great Joe Montana is 59 years old today. Happy birthday to Joe Montana. 59 years old. And also, Lil Zane. You remember Lil Zane, rapper? He's 33 years old today as well. Happy birthday to him. What's Lil Zane known for? Like, what's his hit song? Like, you talking about a one-hit wonder, a flash in the pan, the great Lil Zane. Atlanta-based rapper. Best remembered for the 2000 hit single, Callin' Me. Like, I don't even remember the tune or the melody right now. 2001, I was still paying attention to hip-hop then. I still pay attention to it right now. But happy birthday to the great Lil Zane and to all of those people. Yeah, Joe Montana, Peter Dinklage. Happy birthday to all of those folks, man. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show, talking about the NBA Finals Game 4 tonight. Who do you like in this game and why? Also, the top 5 little people of all times in honor of the great Peter Dinklage. Coming in at number 4 on my list. Number 5 on my list was Herb Villachez, a.k.a. Tattoo, from Fantasy Island, who had grown man internal organs. The pain so much so that he took his own self out, which is a horrible story. And then Tree came along and trying to, make jokes about him, saying that he had grown man parts. I didn't think that was cool at all, so I put a star by her name. But coming in at number 4 on my list of top 5 little dudes / women of all times is the great Vern Troyer. You know who that is. Mini-Me from the Austin Powers movies. Strange little dude. Strange little dude. And maybe I'm kind of confusing him with the real Vern Troyer with his character. You ever notice in those Austin Powers movies, he didn't really say a lot at all. I mean, he was supposed to be like Austin Powers' mini, personality or whatever, but he never really said anything at all. He kind of grunted sometimes, ran around. He is 2'8". Huh? The man is 2'8". It says here that he's one of the smallest people in the world. Okay, not just a regular little dude. That's the politically correct term I'm going to use on this show today for people like him. But 2'8", one of the shortest people in the world. He's an actor / stunt performer. He's from Sturgis, Michigan. He's from your part of the country tree. And so he comes in at number 4 on my list. The only reason I didn't have him higher, he might be the most recognizable guy on this list. Outside of Peter Dinklage is definitely on the list as well. But yeah, he is 2'8". So wow, he made my list of top 5. Let me read some of your chat here. You can hit me on the chat line on Spreaker.com and give me your thoughts on whatever we're talking about. Your top 5 as far as little dudes / women of all times on the Doug Stewart Show. I read your chat. And we talk about it throughout the episode. From Grego. Shouts out to you, Grego. What up, Grego? LeBron wanted to smack that chick. Yeah, you can tell LeBron kind of caught himself, and he wasn't going to do anything because LeBron's kind of a classy dude like that, very image conscious. He wasn't going to go up in the stands a la Ron Artest. I talked about the story earlier. The chick in Golden State screamed out to LeBron, "You are street vernacular for a woman's sexual organ, pleasure zone. Ass bitch." And LeBron stopped for a second. And now you can imagine these guys get called names all the time, probably till no end. But this particular time, I think it even caught LeBron off kind of guard. So he actually stopped, but he wasn't going to do anything. Eugene Jackson, Steve Kerr, you are being outcoached by David Blatt. What? You lose to the puppet. You need to just quit after the season. I mentioned this yesterday. Steve Kerr right now is getting out-coached by David Blatt and technically LeBron James. And if they don't win this series, based on how big of a favorite they were, based on their record, based on their talent, based on their starting 5, even though it is LeBron James, he should take a lot of heat. And he's starting to kind of warm up right now, but he should take a lot of heat if they do not win this series. And then it makes you think about Mark Jackson. What would Mark Jackson would have been able to do with this team, the same team right now that is struggling, that is just trying to stay above water against the Cleveland Cavaliers? From J.B. Jennings, Spud Webb, number 1. Okay, I get it. Spud Webb's a little guy, but nah, we're not talking about that little guy. We're talking about real little guys. Right. So we're not talking about your Spud Webbs, your Kevin Harts. We're talking about, I would use the term, and I'm going to use it right now in reference to the conversation. I'm talking about midgets, okay? And I know that's not the politically correct thing to say in 2015, but just to clarify for the listeners, we are talking about very, very little dudes. Maybe I should have just put another very in front of it. Top 5 little people of all times. Top 5 very little people of all times. Yes. In honor of Peter Dinklage, who is a little guy with a big-ass head, though. Now you talking about grown man parts. Tyrion Lannister got a grown-ass man head. Okay, like Herb Villachez got grown-ass man internal organs. Peter Dinklage got a man, like, he got a watermelon on top of his damn neck. So that's what we're doing today, all right, on the Doug Stewart Show. We get back from the break, man, more NBA Finals talk. I'll read more of your chat. This is a Throwback Thursday on the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. Get your hands off the dial. Stay right there. Hold on. You've been thinking about starting that online store, right? And you do know e-commerce makes billions a year. That's right. I said billions with a B, okay? A B. Well, just do it and do it right with my friends at AmeriCommerce. AmeriCommerce is an easy-to-use tool to sell anything online, on Facebook, and through mobile phones. Over 100,000 merchants and website owners have chosen AmeriCommerce to handle their stores and customers. They have the most in-depth features in the industry, which include multiple storefronts, website management from one console, a Facebook shopping application, a mobilized, optimized website, and much more. Don't let eBay, Amazon, and Zappos get all the money. Get your piece of the pie, too. Click on their banner link on the DougStewartShow.com or the app link for more details. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show, Throwback Thursday, top 5 little dudes of all times. Boy, when you heard this come on back in the day, it was going to be a battle. Yes, sir. Oh, man. Oh, man, you knew it was a battle back in about 85 when that came on. This is the Doug Stewart Show, 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. NBA Finals Game 4 tonight. I'm reading some of your chat, getting some of your thoughts on the game, and just doing what we do, just kicking it, talking about these sports and talking about the top 5 very little dudes of all times. But the NBA Finals tonight, LeBron James is averaging 41 points, 12 boards, and 8.3 assists in 47 minutes. My gosh. His 123 points through the first 3 games of the series are the most in NBA Finals history. What? I would have never guessed that. Now, he's been balling out of control, obviously, from the numbers I just read, 41, 12, and 8. But he's been playing basketball for a long-ass time. And so this 123 points through the first 3 games are the most in NBA Finals, surpassing another person I would have never guessed. You would have guessed, I don't know, Michael Jordan or somebody like that, a very proficient scorer. But surpassing Rick Barry's 122 points, speaking of Golden State, his 122 points in the first 3 games of the 67 finals. People be sleeping on Rick Barry. And I don't remember Rick Barry, obviously, because of his age. But trust me, anybody that remembers or saw Rick Barry, an older cat that you talk to, they'll tell you Rick Barry was the truth. And, I mean, he got, 3, 4 little boys that actually are very good in the NBA as well. One of them won the slam dunk competition. So they said this dude was not only a fantastic shooter, shot the free throws underhanded, but was also a great athlete as well. Ooh, I would have loved to have seen the great Rick Barry, man. People in the industry don't like Rick Barry. They say he's an a-hole. A lot of people you talk to in the industry, in the media business, they say Rick Barry's just like super, super arrogant, super, super conceited. They say he's an a-hole. I mean, that's what they say. We had him on the show a couple of times. I didn't find that to be the case. He did kind of have like a quick wit. I remember we had him on. He said something, and I was like, oh, okay, Rick Barry got a little jokey joke, But, yeah, Rick Barry had 122 points in the first 3 games of the 67 finals. LeBron recorded his 11th double-double of the 2015 playoffs and his second 40-point game of the playoffs, both in the finals against the Warriors, after finishing with a game-high 40 points, 12 boards, and a game-high 8 assists, a postseason high, tying for steals and 2 blocks in 46 minutes. It's the first time in James' playoff career that he has put together that stat line. LeBron is playing out of his freaking mind right now. Tristan Thompson is leading the NBA Finals with 14 boards per game. He pulled down double-double rebounds in 10 of the last 12 playoff games after a double-double performance in Game 3 against the Warriors, where he had 10 points and 13 rebounds. I can't wait for Game 4 tonight. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. From Detroit, Matt. I had a conversation in the barbershop yesterday about LeBron, and I wanted to get y'all's opinion. Why is it not an offensive foul when LeBron lowers his shoulder when driving to the basket? The best explanation I could give you is the player that's defending him, their feet aren't set. I think it all comes down to if their feet are set. It's as simple as that. But, yeah, LeBron lowers his shoulder like a freaking running back going through the 2-hole and bowls cats over. If he gets you off balance, if he catches you on your heels, it's over. You about to get ran to smack over. And I understand what you're saying, but I guess that's what the deal is. If your feet aren't set, no matter if clearly the offensive player is the aggressor, the offensive player lowers his shoulder, it doesn't matter. If your feet aren't set, you're gonna get that foul. From 9-0 the Rhino, Tattoo from Fantasy Island, Stagger Lee, I'm in this snitch like a female midget. the plane boss, hashtag. Rel Scott, fans here in Philly are the worst. They will curse you and your mom out. Hell, we threw snowballs at Santa Claus during the Eagles game. Oh, my gosh. Don't even. Whenever you even bring up Philadelphia sports fans, I just have flashbacks to when me and my brother were accosted at Old Veterans Stadium, man, in the NFC divisional game, I believe it was, between the Falcons and the Philadelphia Eagles. Told the story many, many times. Everybody told us, in a nutshell, everybody told us all week. We took some fans up there, some listeners to the show up there, flew them up there, great hotel stay, and everybody the whole week told us not to wear Atlanta Falcons paraphernalia. You know, us being who we are, we ain't scared. We ain't never scared. We like Bone Crusher around this bitch. So we wore our stuff up there, man, and I don't want to get into all of the detail, all of the minutia of it, man, but it was just a horrible, horrible couple of hours. And I'm not laughing. It's not nothing I even want to joke about. It's one of the worst memories I've ever had in my life is those 3-4 hours we were at this game, man. It was unbelievably bad. Unbelievable. So, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, Real Scott. And shame on the Philadelphia Eagles and sports fans. City of brotherly love. Yeah, whatever. That's a damn lie from Boosa. Kevin Hart, number one little dude. Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about. All right, listen to me. And maybe he did. So I don't really even need to go back over this. Listening to the Doug Stewart Show. But I mentioned it earlier. Let me reiterate it one more time. We're talking about, technically, the unpolitically correct term, just for reference to what we're talking about. We're talking about midgets. / dwarfs. Okay? That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about Kevin Hart. We're not talking about Spud Webb. Even though Kevin Hart is fringe dwarf. He is. Now, we've had Kevin Hart in studio, I'll say 3 times. 3, maybe even 4 times. Whenever they come to the city, we used to always have we had a little connection with one of the comedy clubs, and whenever one of these comedians came to town, they'd shuffle them through our show, and they promote the show or whatever. So we had Kevin Hart in studio many, many times. And dude is little, man. I mean, listen, I'm not the biggest guy in the world. I'm 5'10 and a half, and some days I'm 5'11. Kevin Hart can't be taller. And I think I saw one time, we had talked about this, they had him listed at 5'7". If Kevin Hart is 5'7", my name ain't Jane. Or it is Jane. Kevin Hart ain't no 5'7". I'm going to guess Kevin Hart is 5'3". Okay? He's 5'3", maybe even 5'2". Yeah. And not that I even know a lot of 5'2" guys, but he's much smaller than 5'7" is the point. Great guy, phenomenal talent, but he ain't no damn 5'7", trust me on that. From Leon, this is the reason I don't take my kids to NFL games. NBA fans usually are more respectful. Yeah, you know what? Let me think about that for a second. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. You get more of a situation like the Philadelphia fans than you do with this lady at this NBA Finals game 2 the other night, cursing out LeBron James. And the reason being is I think that football fans, they get more loose. You gotta kind of factor in the tailgating aspect as well. Usually when football fans get in the stadium, they're already lit. I don't think there's that much of a tailgating culture around basketball. I'll go with that. I'll go with that. Now, I wouldn't go as far as to say I wouldn't take my kids to a sporting event because I don't want to hear, I don't want them to hear fans screaming out obscenities. I just think you got to live your life, and then that might be a teaching moment. You tell your kids, this is the way that you act in public, something like that. But I'm going to live my life. I'm not going to not take my kids. Or I've never said to myself, I'm not going to take my kids to a sporting event because of the way fans act. I think that's kind of harsh, bruh. From Texas Ty, have y'all shared or retweeted today? Yes, you need to share and retweet the Doug Stewart Show. My Twitter handle is @Doug2LiveStews. Did I post something today already? I don't think that I have, but I will. But follow your boy on Twitter @Doug2LiveStews from Griff. Don't forget about Vern Troyer, Austin Powers, Tony Cox, Bad Santa, on Martin's TV show a couple of times as well. Thank you for that, Griff. Keep listening to my list. Keep listening. From Gary Gillens, Eastern Conference teams play defense, Western Conference teams score. That's historically what it's been, at least over the last 30 years. And you're talking about the Los Angeles Lakers, the Showtime Lakers, that up and down style of game. The Phoenix Suns for many, many years with Mike D'Antoni and the way that they play. Even Golden State a couple of years ago. Golden State's been a team with Don Nelson as their head coach that ran up and down the floor at a high pace. You remember they had the great Captain Jack? What's his name? Steven Jackson. The great Steven Jackson played for them a couple of years ago. Real fun team to watch. But yeah, Western Conference teams more up and down. Eastern Conference teams more defensive-minded. And if you think about the Bad Boys and the Knicks and the Miami Heat with Alonzo Mourning and those guys, yeah, that's pretty typical of what you see from the two conferences over the years. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. This is the Doug Stewart Show. When we get back, damn it, it's hour number 2. Show flies by, man. We are still working and striving to get that third hour going, man. We're working on it. You can help us out by donating to the show. Yes, sir. If you donate $20 or more, we'll send you your own official The Doug Stewart Show t-shirt, first run edition, collector's item. So $20 or more, we'll send you a t-shirt. If you spend $10 or donate $10 between $10 and $19.99, we got another great little gift we'll send you as well, man. So donate to the Doug Stewart Show. Doug Stewart Show. TheDougStewartShow.com is where you find the donate button. And if you do, man, we will appreciate it. Thank you to everybody that has donated to the Doug Stewart Show. These are the type of things that we got to do to stay afloat. Yes. Show is going fantastic, but we still need to grow it. And there's still expenditures out there that we would welcome your assistance. Yeah. Thank you. In other words, thank you. All right, we get back. Hour number 2. Don't go away. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com, America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. The Doug Stewart Show. The place where the real players play.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service.
The Doug Stewart Show.
That's a brand name. Like Pepsi, that's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it.
The Doug Stewart Show. If you ain't stewing, what the hell are you doing? Yeah! What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers in compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. This is hour number 2. Yes, sir. June 11th, 2015. Thank you for joining your boy. I really do appreciate it. Talking about the NBA Finals. I'm going to read more of your chat here in a second. In the next segment, I want to talk a little bit about a new ranking that came out through the Puppet Factory, and they ranked all 32 teams. It's not a good look for our Atlanta Falcons here. So we'll talk about that. But we're doing the top 5 little dudes, very little dudes of all time. That's what we're doing today on the show. And we're also talking about the NBA Finals Game 4 tonight, getting your thoughts on that. And just doing what we do, having a good time, man. Shouts out to all of the Stewies. If I don't mention you, if I don't read one of your chat messages, nothing personal. I mean, we get over 1,200 posts a day, pretty much averaging over the last couple of months. So, man, we could literally add another hour or 2 and just read more chat and have commentary off of the chat. But I really do appreciate you taking your time out of your day, man, to put forth some effort in helping me to produce this show. Because, in effect, that's what you're doing. So I thank you very much for that, man. And thank you very much for promoting and telling people about the Doug Stewart Show. Tree mentioned something to me earlier, which is a very good point. If for some reason you can't donate monetarily to the show, which we ask that you do that first and foremost. If you can't donate monetarily, donate by your time. Retweet something that I tweeted to help promote the show. Share one of my posts on Facebook or whatever, and just, get the word out about the Doug Stewart Show. In the long run, that's what it's all about, is listeners, and we're constantly trying to build the listenership up. And so if you can't send your boy 10 bones or $20 or whatever, get you a T-shirt or shot glass or something else, retweet, reshare. Do that type of stuff, man. I appreciate it so much. Anything you can do, I appreciate it. Yes, sir. Coming in at number 5 on my top 5 very little people of all time. Midgets. Some people would say back in the day, but that's not the politically correct thing to say, but I'm just telling you that for reference. Number 5 on my list with Herb Villachez. Number 4, Vern Troyer, a.k.a. Mini-Me from Austin Powers. And coming in at number 3 on my list is the great Peter Dinklage, a.k.a. Tyrion Lannister from Game of Thrones. Mention him all throughout today's show, obviously. It's his birthday. Real short dude, cool-ass dude, man. Fantastic actor. And I posted something a couple of days ago, man. Even though you may not be blessed with God-given talent, and this was all in reference to punk-ass Della Vadova. Even though you may not be blessed with, like, a real discernible God-given talent that you found, that you have or whatever, if you work hard, man, it's going to work out. Good things are going to happen. And you can only imagine, the limited roles that he was probably looked at, and talking about Peter Dinklage and being an actor in Hollywood. You know how actors supposed to look. You know what Hollywood says you're supposed to look like if you're on TV or in movies. And so he doesn't fit that description. But he has phenomenal talent, great actor, great thespian. Okay? And so look what's going on, man. He worked hard and was noticed, and the rest is history. So the great Peter Dinklage comes in at number 3 on my list. He's from Jersey. Why did I think he was from, from Scotland or something like that? Breakout role was in Station Agent. He starred in such films as Elf. Oh, that's just wrong right there. Why you got to get a short guy to play an elf? Death at a Funeral. The Chronicles of Narnia. A little bit of Heaven. Ice Age. I guess he played a voice in Ice Age. Knights of Badassdom. I've never seen that movie. X-Men Days of Future Past. Yeah, I remember him in X-Men, which I watch all of the darn comic book movies, but I'm about to stop from that ish. I've been really not feeling these comic book movies lately. I guess maybe I'm growing up. He was born in Morristown, New Jersey. His daddy was an insurance salesman. So Peter Dinklage, there you go. I'm not going to read no more about him. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let me read more of your chat messages here from Miss Mocabella. Number 1 little person, rest in peace, Gary Coleman. Rest in peace to the great Gary Coleman. God bless the dead. Okay, now let me stop, and I pause for a second there, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I don't think Gary Coleman was technically, or should fall in this category of very little people, unpolitically correct. I'm making note of that in the beginning before I say this word. I don't think Gary Coleman was a midget/dwarf. Or maybe he did fall in the dwarf category. And I don't know how they differentiate between midgets and dwarfs or whatever. And I'm sure somebody can find it for me. Maybe Tree can find that for me. But Gary Coleman everything was in proportion in relative terms from what we could see on the outside. Once again, I don't know about other stuff like Tree was saying earlier. But Gary Coleman was just a short dude. Am I wrong about that? Or was he technically classified as a dwarf or whatever? God bless the dead. The great Gary Coleman gone. It doesn't seem right for Gary Coleman to be dead. You know? There's a lot of people that die. You're like, oh, he died. All right. God bless him. There's some people that die, and you like, that just don't see, it still doesn't seem right. Like, it still doesn't seem right that Gary Coleman dead, and it definitely still don't seem right that Michael Jackson is dead. There's something wrong about Michael Jackson being dead before me, knock on wood. Yes, Tree.
I think he had an endocrine, are you familiar with endocrinology?
Yeah, something with the glands.
Yes.
Yeah. So there was a medical condition with Gary Coleman that stopped him from growing, in effect?
Yes, and then he had kidney disease. Remember, he was on dialysis.
Yeah. I remember hearing that. Damn.
When we realized he wasn't going to actually get any taller than,
right,
Arnold or whatever. he wasn't a midget, though.
Right, I don't think so. And once again, I'm only 5'10", but like my dad said, man, I mean, it could be a whole lot worse. I'm happy being me. I love me some me. If you didn't know that, I love me some me. But yeah, can you imagine being 2'8" like Vern Troyer, or being Gary Coleman, and you got a starring role on Good Times or whatever, and then you just stop growing? Because I think he was like a normal sized kid, or would he have been considered even a small kid? I don't know, but yeah, but no. Rest in peace to Gary Coleman from Mocha Bella, but he's not on my list, Mocha. I almost think y'all throwing shots at Gary Coleman. And Kevin Hart. My man Griff. Yes, Tree. Did you find that information?
I mean, they're just really having heated not heated, but like really good conversation about height. And someone asked, would I date someone that was 5'2"? And then that made me think of Jermaine Dupri and small feet and stuff like that.
Ryan used to call JD Mini-Me, which was wrong. Ryan and Jermaine Dupri had a little run-in many years ago. So would you date a little dude like Jermaine Dupri? And he's a little dude.
I mean, as positive and uplifting as I try to be, I do have standards. And
what?
If I look at your feet, it's a wrap.
What do you mean?
It could go in your favor or not. I know that is shallow. I'm human. I'm flawed. But
So wait a minute. Let me get this straight. I get this straight. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I get this straight.
Yeah, let you.
Did you just reference looking at a dude's feet? Are you talking about that whole thing, relative term about feet and man parts? Is that what you're referencing?
I believe that to be. I'm told that's accurate.
Okay, so let me just say this right now. I only wear size 10.5, and trust me, I'm straight. I mean, just trust me on that. So you're saying that you would date a 5'2" guy, a guy like Kevin Hart, which Tree, you're pretty tall for a lady. You're probably what, 5'7"?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so you wouldn't have a problem with dating a short dude, a very short dude, and Kevin Hart size or Jermaine Dupri size, just as long as they packing a punch.
But the hands also are going to be tiny, so yeah, it's a problem.
It's a problem.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Okay, all right, it is. This is the Doug Stewart Show from Gary Gillens. I would love to see that in public. Tree walking around with a little 5'1" dude. That would be great. I'd take pictures of that and post it on Instagram. From Gary Gillens, Eastern Conference teams play defense, Western Conference score. I think I already read that one. Thank you, my man Gary Gillens. The 47th problem. Man, I've been sleeping on Game of Thrones. Just started watching. Awesome show, but it's not even close to The Wire. Nope. No. It's definitely not The Wire. It's pretty damn good, but it's not The Wire. Said it many times. The big problem I got with Game of Thrones, man, so many characters. So many different families, I mean, and it's not just a lot of characters that just show up every once in a while. No, these are characters that they give a lot of depth to. They got a lot of speaking lines. There's a storyline with like 50 or 60 different people. It's just a lot. You got to really pay attention to Game of Thrones, man. From J.B. Jennings, all you need to do is watch season 1, episode 1 of Game of Thrones, and you will be hooked. I agree. It's a great show. Fantastic show. Juan Cruz, I nominate Doug for a BPA for his failed attempts at singing. We're not going to read that one. Obviously, a prankster. Keen 941. I woke up singing Dirty Della today. Yes, sir. I know you did. It's sweeping the nation, man. We're darting up the charts with my rendition of Dirty Della Vadova. Yes, sir. That ninja. That used to be a great song. Doug remix, Can You Stand the Pain? Can you stand the pain? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I like that. Thank you, Ninja. Yes. I'll get in studio on that. Practice it up. I do all my renditions live. So let me look at it. Let me see if I can do a remix for Can You Stand the Rain. We'll call it Can You Stand the Pain. I like that. Thank you, that ninja. Clearly a man that respects and honors singing greatness. Thank you. Thank you. J.B. Jennings, private parts like a 2-year-old? No, man. Internal parts. Texas Tide, no other producer comes in and rides raw. Like Tree. Clearly. Clearly no one does. When I get back, man, we're going to talk NFL talent rankings per the Puppet Factory. And it's not a good look for the Atlanta Falcons. Let's just say that, all right? Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. In life, things happen, good and bad. And being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and #1 independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes!
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
I'd been talking about red rice, frogmore stew. Another one on the list, on number 13 on this list, is peanuts taste better boiled. Yes. And as God is my witness, my wife did not know people boiled peanuts and ate them. She did not. My wife's from Ohio. And yes, boiled peanuts, if cooked right, are the bomb.
Sports talk. Straight, no chaser.
All right, so I got to clear something up. and I don't even know why anybody's mind would even work like this, but evidently it's becoming a topic of conversation. In the last segment, I was talking about boiled peanuts, okay, that come from out of the ground, not boiled peanuts. And so, evidently there's some talk in the chat room about Doug talking about boiled man parts. No, peanuts. I'm trying to say it as slow as I can. Peanuts, okay? What is it, P-E-A-N-U-T-S? Peanuts. No, man, not boiled peanuts. Come on, man. And I see Vern in here. Damn you, Vern. Ugh. Y'all know what the hell I was saying. This is the Doug Stewart Show. What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers in compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam. Welcome to the Doug Stewart Show. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Throwback Thursday. And talking about the top 5 little dudes of all time. I mean, what other show in America going to talk about the top 5 very little dudes of all time? You tell me, huh? And have a good time doing it. Talking about these sports. NBA Finals tonight. We're going to get into some NFL talk here. We always talk NFL. We always welcome football talk on the Doug Stewart Show. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. In life, things happen, good and bad, and being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband and a father and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world, right? Isn't it? Aren't they? 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. Come on, man. Come on, man. Get yourself together, man. So what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. If you're a parent, a husband, or a wife and want to discuss options with life insurance with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn. His number is 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172. And make sure and tell him that the Doug Stewart Show sent you. All right, so the Puppet Factory every year, they rank NFL rosters, and it's based on talent, and personnel, in effect. Where do you think the Atlanta Falcons came in on this list? Let me tell you the top 5, first of all, as far as talent in the NFL. So says the experts and the analysts at the Puppet Factory, which is ESPN for people that are new to the show. Number 5, they've got the Denver Broncos. Top 5 players: Von Miller, Chris Harris Jr., Malik Jackson, Demaryius Thomas, a.k.a. Bebe, and C.J. Johnson. And then you know that they have Peyton Manning as well on that team. Number 4, the New England Patriots. Top 5, Devin McCourty, Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Dante Hightower, and Jamie Collins. Number 3 on the list is the Baltimore Ravens, who always have great talent. Shouts out to Ozzie Newsome, the GM for a long, long time. Frat as well. Oh, what up, Q? They've got Marshall Yanda, Ricky Wagner, Kalichi Osemele, Terrell Suggs, and Brandon Williams. Number 2 on the list is Green Bay. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers, Randall Cobb, Josh Sitton, Jordy Nelson, Clay Matthews, and the number 1 most talented personnel team in the NFL is the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, listen to these names as far as their top 5 players: Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas, Marshawn Lynch, Jimmy Graham, and Russell Wilson. Ooh, I mean, they just got a fantastic nucleus. Great personnel department for the Seattle Seahawks. The Atlanta Falcons come in at number 31 on the list. There's only 32 teams. Now, I actually almost think this is a little bit too harsh, man. I'm looking at some of these teams ahead of the Falcons, man. And you know me, I keeps it real, almost to a fault as far as critiquing these teams here in the city. The show is based here in Atlanta, Georgia, for new listeners. But they've got Tennessee ahead of Atlanta. They've got Tampa Bay ahead of Atlanta. They've got the Oakland Raiders even ahead of Atlanta. And talking about the top 5 guys for the Falcons, they got Julio Jones, Desmond Trufant, who I think is really going to break out this year as one of the top corners in the league, Matt Ryan, John Asamoah, and Ryan Schrader. Those are the top guys they have listed for the Atlanta Falcons. the personnel's got to get better for the Dirty Birds. There's just no denying it, man. Defensively, more so, they addressed that with drafting Vic Beasley this year out of Clemson. I'm interested to see a couple of additions to this team this year. They added Jacob Tammy at tight end, and we really haven't had a pass-catching tight end since Tony Gonzalez left. Jacob Tammy, you remember he was a big target for Peyton Manning for many years in Indianapolis. And then they also drafted the Coleman kid, Tevin Coleman, out of Indiana. So, I mean, they've added some pieces, but they're young. A lot of disappointments over the last couple of years. You talk about personnel, Jake Matthews. Guys always getting hurt, man. Guys always getting hurt for the Atlanta Falcons. You talk about Jake Matthews and Sam Baker and those guys. So we've had injury issues over the last couple of years. Julio always is hurt, so that's always an issue. They got the Falcons rated number 31 as far as talent. I just found that kind of interesting. I think it might be a little bit harsh, too. Once again, a couple of teams ahead of the Falcons. I wouldn't put them over the Falcons, but it is what it is. And these are people that do it and talk about it a lot more than we do, these quote-unquote experts. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. What do you think about that? Okay, it's June, but we can always talk football, man. What are your thoughts about the Falcons going into this season? Is it going to be another dismal year, 8-8, 7-9, or the Falcons going to break through and get back to the winning ways of a couple of years ago, and have a 12-win season, a 13-win season? What are your thoughts on that? You can hit me on the chat line on Spreaker.com. From Stag Elite, Eddie Long is a little man. Webster, okay. Never met Eddie Long. Is he very short in stature? 9-0 the Rhino. Barron pulled it off, though. Barron pulled what off? The linguini haircut he got? I didn't even talk about this, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Google Baron Davis. He was on one of those Puppet Factory shows the other day. I just started seeing it all over my timeline. Baron Davis got an old school 1977, Compton, Watts, Jerry curl. And not only that, it was real wet looking, like a Stay Fro Glow commercial. It was real squiggly. It was real squiggly, little like thin curls. And I can imagine he's getting a little bit older. I think he's got a receding hairline. And it was just a bad look. Looked like linguini on top of his damn head. And it was a bowl haircut. So I don't know if Baron Davis, former point guard for the UCLA Bruins, played for many teams. Who did he play for? The Clippers. He played for several teams in the NBA. I think he might have played for the Hornets, too. I don't know if he's going through something. Is he going through something? Is he having one of them midlife crises or something like that? That's a bad look. So we nominated him. I didn't even talk about it, but we nominated him for a Boiled Penis Award. I mean, that's just a horrible look, bro. You got money. And as a matter of fact, I think he's already been bald. You've already been bald, bro. You can't go back to squiggly linguini-type haircuts and jerry curls. This is 2015, Jack. He didn't pull nothing off 9-0 the Rhino. Shouts out to you, 9-0 the Rhino, though. In Detroit, Matt. I was in L.A. a few weeks ago, and some people still rock the curl. What? Are you serious? I thought you were joking. I thought you were playing, man. Baron bringing it back, looking like Pinky. Laugh out loud. Exactly right. That's exactly what the curl looks like. Just Google Baron Davis curl. He looks exactly like Pinky. Say it again. Say it again. Say it again. Oh, Key 941. In Baron Davis's defense, they wear curls out in the West Coast. Do they really still wear curls in the West Coast, man? Seriously. I mean, are you joking? Are you being facetious? Or are you serious about that? I find that hard to believe, man. I find that very hard to believe that even the quote-unquote gangbangers that they always depict in movies and Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society, even them dudes still not wearing jerry curls, man. I just refuse to believe that. From Gridiron Assassin, just saw Baron Davis. Boy lost his mind. Yes, Grego, Dirty Della will be watched tonight, but so will Green. Flagrant Fouls coming tonight. Yeah, if you've heard the comments made by Draymond Green, expect a physical game tonight from Golden State. And Golden State is a finesse-type team. We talked about that yesterday. But they got some mashers on that team, some, bruising-type players. And Draymond Green, Andrew Bogut can really get physical, as big of a body that he has. So expect a more physical game tonight. And so you might expect some technical files to be thrown around as well. All right? And we get back from the break, man, reading more of your chat. This is your show. All right? It's the People Show, the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes!
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
If you're not stewing, what the hell are you doing? This is the Doug Stewart Show. Throwback Thursday. This beat is slamming. I'm not too fond of this chick that's singing the song, but the beat is slamming. Throwback Thursday. Trying to get some things situated in here. We're talking about the top 5 little dudes of all times on the show today in honor of Peter Dinklage, actor. His birthday today. He's 46 years old today. So I'll give you number 2 on my list here in a second. But this segment is brought to you by Ticket Liquidator. All right, since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers to give you the opportunity to attend the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. The goal is to bring you more tickets, better service, and lower prices so that you can be there to witness the best of the world of entertainment, culture, and sports has to offer. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, give us a call or give them a call at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034. And make sure and tell them that the Doug Stewart Show sent you. So, coming in at number 2 on my list of top 5 little people of all times is... Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Throwback Thursday. Thanks for joining you, boy. I think we had a little technical difficulty just now. But we're back. We're back. It's okay. It's okay. Talk about the top 5 little dudes of all times. And number 2 on my list is the great Bushwick Bill. I'm not even sure if you heard me say that. I actually said it one time. We had a microphone issue. But Bushwick Bill comes in at number 2 on my list. His real name is Richard Stephen Shaw. Did you know that he was actually born in Jamaica? He's actually Jamaican. In the summer of 1991, Bushwick Bill was shot by his girlfriend during an argument, losing an eye. He refers to the incident and his intoxication on Everclear grain alcohol in his rap Ever So Clear. In 2006, check this out, and we are talking about Bushwick Bill from the rap group, the Ghetto Boys. In 2006, he became a born-again Christian, but then in 2010, he was arrested in Georgia for possession of marijuana and cocaine. So I guess he fell off the wagon. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. So coming in at number 2 on my list of top 5 little dudes, very little dudes of all times, is the great Bushwick Bill. Yes, Tree?
It's from the earth.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about that the other day. Yeah, let him tell it. It's from the earth.
I bet them disciples was getting it in.
Yeah, probably. You
It's
think
from the earth.
you think the disciples? You think Peter and Joseph and all of them cats was like smoking doobies?
That, first of all, Peter was gangster. Okay, he was gangster. He was cutting off soldiers' ears and carrying on. When they wanted to unwind.
And see, that's why I got you in the Doug Stewart Show. See, I just threw out the first disciple's name I can remember. I didn't know about his personal life and about the little parables. I didn't know about his particular parables from the Bible. Thank you, Tree. There we go.
You're
I like
welcome.
that.
And Joseph was not a disciple. He was the daddy, the baby's daddy.
So give me a couple more disciples. There's Peter. There's Alex.
Matthew.
Walter.
Mark,
Oh, Matthew, Mark. Okay.
Luke, John.
Okay, Luke, John. All right, they'll sound familiar.
Judas. You know about Judas.
What about Leroy? Was there a disciple named Leroy?
He was not. He was a supplier, but not a disciple.
See, why Leroy got to be a supplier? See there? That's what I'm talking about. Hey, where you going, man? I'm going over the mountain. I got to pick up a little package from Leroy. You mean old Leroy? Leroy got that kush, man. Leroy disciple. Oh, boy. That's funny. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. This is the Doug Stewart Show. So, there's not a lot of little people to choose from of all time. So you can probably guess who my number one very little dude of all time is. Stay tuned for that. I'll tell you who that is coming up here on the Doug Stewart Show. From Ronald Cameron. All right, and this is on the Spreaker chat on Spreaker.com. My revised top 5 little man list, number 1 is Prince. See there? That's what I'm talking about. Prince is not a very little dude. He's not a midget. He's not one of those. He's just a little dude. Now, if you're talking about a battle for normal guys and being little, it's a toss-up between Prince and Kevin Hart. I'm a guess Prince is 5 foot tall. And you ever notice Prince always wears boots? Like he wears like women's boots all the time too, with the high heel on the back. Prince is the grooviest cat in the world, man, but he is a very, very little dude. But he had mad basketball game allegedly, blouses. Blouses.
He might be a short man that actually can work with.
See there?
The situation.
Where,
he's really creative, so I would assume that would carry over.
What does creative have to do with his sexual exploits, Tree? And I know that's what you're talking about.
I mean, you saw the girl. Look at the girls. Ain't nobody sticking around with feet that small.
Well, but think about it, though. I mean, technically, Prince has never had a chick to hang around. Prince always gets them. How many times has Prince been married and divorced? 3, 4 times?
And they all look the same.
They all look like...
Kind of like Tiger Woods. All look the same.
They all look like Lisa, a freaking...
Vanity.
Apollonia, yeah. And he never keeps them around, so maybe Prince ain't hitting it right. I don't know. From the Kicking It With Kissy show. Oh, let me finish with Ronald Cameron's, my man RC's list. He had Prince, which is not proper. Joe Pesci. Wait a minute, man. Come on, man. This isn't the list we're talking about. But anyway, Joe Pesci at number 2. Now, if we did another separate list of short guys, short, normal, evenly proportioned guys, then your list might be good, okay? He's got Gary Coleman at 3, Danny DeVito at 4. Now, I do think Danny DeVito's got a little bit of dwarfism in him. And then he's got Vern Troyer. See, your list is all jacked up. You got Vern Troyer on a list with a bunch of other little short guys. That's not cool. The Kicking It With Kissy show. Ooh, the perfect beat has me popping in my chair at work. Only battle. Woo-wee. Ooh, incredible song there. Yeah, perfect beat, man. Classic. I played that a little bit earlier. That's a classic hip-hop battle breakdance song. Perfect beat. I might do that one day for a Throwback Thursday or maybe for a Tribute Tuesday. Play the top 5 breakdance battle songs of all times. Perfect Beat would definitely be on that list, I think. From Vince Wright, Rick Barry never missed those underhanded free throws. LeBron is truly the king right now. Ball Award. From Lamont Hart, Golden State is going to cut out all that lucky-ish tonight. If it's not, it's over. I agree with that. From That Ninja, those numbers are why we talking about Della Vadova so much in a damn joke. Ronald Cameron, my revised top 5 little man list. Okay, I already read that one earlier. From 9 on the Rhino, Golden State better get tough with LeBron. Robert Parrish clothesline, his butt. You can't do that in today's NBA. Yeah, and we've talked about that many times before. A lot of this stuff that's going on. Steph Curry would not be Steph Curry if he played in the 80s, the late 80s, 90s. He just wouldn't be because he would be dead by now. From Fat Boy McCoon, I don't matter. I'm going to forever think the NBA is rigged, or it don't matter. I'm going to forever think the NBA is rigged. 9 on the Rhino, LeBron lowers that shoulder all the time. That Ninja Doug stop. Bron pushes off in the paint every time. From Gary Joyner, we got a lot of LeBron detractors out there, man. A lot of people don't like LeBron. I used to be the ringleader. Not so much anymore. From Gary Joyner, wrong is because of LeBron. He's the star. This league is the other players are peons. I tend to believe that to a degree. The 47th problem, what's up with Golden State's spotty offense and shot selection? Some of their offense seems uncharacteristic. LBJ gets passes on fouls, travels, etc. LBJ rules. Detroit Matt. So what's the difference between LeBron lowering his shoulder and a player using their off arm to create separation? I think that's a totally different category when a guy puts his off arm out and they'll even let guys swat another guy's hands. I think that's a different category than what we talked about earlier when LeBron lowers that shoulder and his defender, the guy defending him, isn't set. Their feet aren't set. Your feet got to be set. It's as simple as that. And he gets a lot of charges, too. Now, don't think that LeBron doesn't get charges called against him. He does. So that's not 100% accurate. The 47th problem, don't forget Bushwick Bill. And I didn't. He's number 2 on my list, man. From Chico the Alpha, The remix for Dirty Deli was meaner than any Puff Daddy remix, and that ninja will remix a miss. Somebody sign Doug. Yes! He's got LOL at the end of this post. I don't know what that's about. Thank you. Thank you, Chico Alpha. It means a lot, bro, when I get acknowledged for my singing talents. It really does mean a lot. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. When we get back from the break, number one on my list of the top 5 little people, very little people, of all times. And I'm going to read more of your chat. Man, I mean, we really got to do something about this showtime, man. We got to figure out a way to get another hour. I mean, you can help your boy do it by donating to the Doug Stewart Show on thedougstewartshow.com. I mean, that would help a lot, and we really appreciate it. We'll even send you a T-shirt, another little gift we got as well. Tip your waiter. That's as simple as that. You know, you go into a restaurant, you get good service. What do? You tip 15, 20, 30%, right? I'm giving you 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6. I'm giving you 10 hours of quality radio every single week. And all I'm saying is just tip your damn waiter, man. TheDougStewartShow.com. Don't go away. Last segment coming up. In life, things happen, good and bad. And being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! I don't like Johnny Gill. He took my spot on New Edition. One of my favorite songs of all time from New Edition is Can You Stand the Rain? So to pay ode to that famous song, man, I'm going to give you my little rendition of Can You Stand the Rain? On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you. Ooh. When that's not possible, tell me, can you weather the storm? Then Ralph jumps in. 'Cause I need somebody who will stand. Shut up! Who will stand by me through the good times and bad times. She will always be right there. Hey, sunny days. Everybody has them. And tell me, hey, can you stand the rain? J-Rob, Tree, if you stop Doug singing, we will renege your BPA nomination. Huh? Buster Doug, I see why you got kicked out of New Edition. Wait a minute. Back up, Jack. Shut up. Studio audience, y'all are out of control today. I mean, seriously, we're going to talk about this. We're going to have to take y'all into Larry's office after this show. That ninja, you just cracked my damn phone screen. What? Where's all of this coming from? Who's putting y'all up to say these things? Who's putting y'all... Okay, Tree, jump on for a second. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Did you prompt these people to say these nasty things to me on Spreaker.com?
You know what?
I mean, it's jealousy. Tree, we know that you sing. But you don't have to be the only person that can sing, okay? I can see it. What do the kids call it? Hating? Is that what's going on here, Tree? Are you hating on Doug Stewart? Dirty Della.
Oh, my God.
Dirty Della. Oh. Dirty Della. Oh. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, That's Doug at thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at Doug at thedougstewartshow.com. That's Doug at thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's Doug at thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! I see what's going on. I see exactly what's going on, Deli. Who don't know you made a deal with the devil, punk? You ain't this good. Oh, no. Oh, no. That boy can sing. Oh, no. Yes, you never make me stay, so take your weight off of me. I know your every move, so won't you just let me be? I've been here times before, but I was too blind to see that you fouled every man. This time you won't foul me. He's saying that's okay. Hey, baby, do what you please. I have the stuff that you want. I am the thing that you need. He looked me deep in the eyes. He's touching me so to start. Boy, he's saying there's no turning back. He's trapped me in his heart. Dirty Della, Dover, no. Dirty Della, Dover, no. Yes, sir. Dirty Della, Dover, no. Dirty Della, Dover, no. Let me be. Yes, sir. Oh, no. Oh, no. That boy can sing right there, man. That boy can sing. Oh, no. Oh, man. That boy can sing. Oh, man. Thank you for joining me on the Doug Stewart Show. I mean, I really take great pleasure. I take great pleasure in delivering you my God-given talent, which is singing. Now, I talk ish on the radio, but I mean, really, that's secondary to me singing from the heart. And so a lot of you acknowledge it, man. Chico the Alpha acknowledge it, man. So, I mean, what more can I do to say thank you than let you hear me sing? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wow. Wow. I'm very humbled, man. I'm very humbled. This is the Doug Stewart Show, Throwback Thursday. Thank you so much for joining your boy today on the show. We've been talking about the top 5 very little dudes of all times. On my list at number 5 was Herb Villachez, a.k.a. Tattoo from Fantasy Island. He was number 5. Number 4, Vern Troyer, Mini-Me from Austin Powers. Number 3, Peter Dinklage, in whom we had this poll in honor of today. Today's his birthday, 46 years old, from Game of Thrones. He's number 3 on my list. Number 2, the great Bushwick Bill comes in. And number 2, Ghetto Boys rapper. This year, Halloween fell on a weekend. Me and Ghetto Boys are trick-or-treating. That dude. And the number one very little dude of all times is the great Tony Cox. Somebody said him earlier. Many of you said his name earlier. So Tony Cox is a little black midget. He's a little black, very little dude that you've seen on a ton of movies. He had a little role. He actually appeared a couple of times, I think, on Martin. But very funny little guy, man. Very funny guy. And you know what's my favorite role that I've ever seen him in? A lot of people slept on this movie, but I think this movie was actually genius. Have you ever seen Billy Bob Thornton in Bad Santa? Fantastic movie. Funny as hell. I'm kind of twisted like that. And I think that movie would go under the category of dark comedy. 2 of my favorite movies of all times. And I'm telling you, rent Bad Santa. Very funny. Very dark, though. Once again, that quote-unquote genre, dark comedy. Bad Santa was a great movie, man. Fantastic movie. Funny as hell. Billy Bob Thornton played that role to a T. And Tony Cox played the little guy in that movie. He played his role as well. In a nutshell, Billy Bob Thornton was a drunk, drug-addicted Santa Claus in the mall during Christmas time, and Tony Cox played like his assistant elf guy to Santa in the mall. And Billy Bob Thornton was just a wreck, but it was very funny, well-written, well-acted, great movie. Another dark comedy. We might could even do a top 5 dark comedies of all time. And trust me when I tell you this. Death to Smoochie. Yes, the great Robin Williams. Now, I don't know how acclaimed that movie was. I don't know exactly if it got a lot of great ratings and reviews by the movie people or whatever. I think it might have, man. But Robin Williams starred in Death to Smoochie. Just a funny-ass, very dark, though. Very, very dark. Okay? Or for purposes of this show, very, very white. Yeah, but a very good movie, man. Check out Death to Smoochie and check out Bad Santa. And, let me know what you think about those two movies. This is the Doug Stewart Show, man. Thank you so much for joining your boy today. Real short break. Let me read a couple of more of your chat messages before we get out of here. From Scotty. Barron is channeling his inner Eddie Long look. He does kind of look like Eddie Long with those little linguini curls or whatever. From Gary Joyner. S-Curl has some good hair products. I use them some of the time. Yeah, I'm not saying that it ain't, there's nothing wrong with using, a little bit of Afro sheen or whatever to get that glossy look. But, I mean, all out full curl? Full 1979 Jerry's curl? No, I don't know. Chico Alpha. Y'all don't see Q with no damn curl, and he's the original doughboy. I agree. From J.B. Jennings, BPA to Baron Davis for going on national TV and sporting that curl. His ass is trying to cover up that big-ass forehead. Oh, y'all wrong. Ronald Cameron, Baron looks like a young Eddie Long. From Vince Wright. And to top it off, Baron puts the video of him getting his curl on Facebook. Fool, are you high? Now, wait a minute. Let's stop for a second here. Does he have some type of endorsement through one of those Jerry Curl companies? If that's the case, then I get it. But I don't understand why they would, endorse Baron Davis to do it. So I don't think that's the case. But if it is something tied behind him getting some money, I ain't mad at the brother. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. From Harold Archie, man, dude has to have a role in a movie or something. No way in the hell he's serious about that curl. I agree. Ronald Cameron, Baron Davis must be hanging out with Shane Mosley. But Shane Mosley just uses juices and berries. I think that's kind of natural for Shane Mosley. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is an S-curl. From Nino the Rhino, never did the curl, but I used the hell out of the wave brush. Oh, hell yeah. Well, there's nothing for me to deny. I'm not embarrassed about it. I had many a Jerry curls back in the late 70s. I mean, my mama couldn't do nothing with this head. So she'll slap a relaxer in a minute. And I tell a story. Maybe you haven't heard this story, man, but I was like in the 6th grade. Oh, my gosh. You talk about things that scar you as a kid. I was like in the 5th or 6th grade, man, and, I got a little Jerry curl. I think my mom had to slap one in there every month and a half or so. And this particular month, the brand that we used, they didn't have it. So my mama get the next best thing, quote, unquote, next best thing that was on the shelf, came home and slapped it in my head. And when I tell you, my hair was as straight as Al Sharpton. Oh, man, you would have thought I was a pimp. My hair got straight. Yes, this is a true story. I'll get my mother on the phone and she'll tell this story. So my hair got straight as hell, and, it was kind of like that episode of Martin when Gina got her hair jacked up by Shanae's hairdresser. And so my mother, panicked when it was done, and she realized that she had effed me up. She started panicking, and she was like, don't worry, we'll take care of it. And she called around and asked people what to do to make it curl up a little bit. And somebody told my mama put pickle juice on it. So we went and got a bunch of, yes! This is not a lie. I swear this isn't a lie. So my mother went to the wholesale store or whatever and bought all of these bottles, jars of pickles, and took this pickle juice and rubbed it in my hair for an hour, and it didn't work. It did not work. Nothing worked.
Your head is not that big.
It's not even the point. It's just that I was walking around with a perm. I had a perm. I had a greasy Jerry curl style perm, straight perm.
Oh, Lord.
When I tell you,
no pictures of that.
No,
anywhere?
there's no pictures because my parents know that my feelings were really hurt.
Aww.
So for a month, not maybe a month, maybe like 3 weeks, I wore a hat to school. I actually had a personal conversation with teachers outside of the classroom before class and like explained to them what was going on. And so they all let me like wear this hat during class.
Hey, Douglas.
Yes.
Was your teacher like the lady on Everybody Hates Chris?
Yeah.
Oh, we understand,
Right,
Douglas.
right.
You
Mocking
couldn't
me.
afford to get some S-curl.
Right.
So you got pickle juice.
Right. So back then, nobody wasn't wearing the baldy like they do now. Like, this was before pre-Michael Jordan. And so I wore a hat and waited for a couple of weeks where it grew back enough, and then I got it cut down real, real low. But my mother just wouldn't allow me to go it all bald at that time. Once again, this is pre-Michael Jordan. So cats didn't get their hair cut bald in the late 70s. And it was just a mess. That was one of the worst memories of my childhood, man. It works. It was. I mean, that was horrible. And I'm actually having a little moment right now remembering it, man.
You need some tissue? Walter, get him some tissue.
Walter, give me the tissue.
Don't sing, but yeah.
Yeah, that was horrible, man. I'll never forget that. My mama really screwed me up. And, I was a little player. Always been a little player. And I guess when I think back about it now, I actually should have went with it. It probably would have produced a lot of new chicks. I mean, who else was rocking a perm back in Monk's going to South Carolina back in 78? But nah, it was very, very embarrassing. My mama screwed me up. I've never forgiven her for that. Never forgiven her for that. Anybody knows me, I love my mama to death, man. But she really screwed a player up that time. Yes, sir. She did. Oh, boy. And she knows she did it, too. So I'm getting up out of the chair, about to grab my comb, my little pick, my afro pick, and style it appropriately. And I kind of see a look on my mama's face, like something's wrong.
Not today.
Yeah. You ain't styling nothing today, Ninja. You about to go crazy. You gonna learn today. That was horrible. Oh, man. All right, thank you so much for joining me on the Doug Stewart Show, man. I really, really do appreciate it. Yes, sir. Who else keeps it real and tells you about some of their most embarrassing moments but the Doug Stewart Show? Me. Nobody but me. Ugh. All right, we'll do it again tomorrow on a funky Football Friday. Same Doug Stewart time, same Doug Stewart channel. Shouts out to the producers, the Tree of Life, Waterhead Walter, Dwayne Bassan, Gerald Oliveri, and to all of the Stewies. Thank you. I nub new. Once again, we'll do it again tomorrow, same Doug Stewart time, same Doug Stewart channel. Peace. I'm holding up the peace sign.